Music Matters.
Music
Back here,
matters.
Zavy today.
Yes.
How you feeling, man?
I feel great.
Good. Appreciate you doing this.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's our honor. What can I say? Yeah, man, I've been listening to your music lately. I'm excited to see what you got coming in store because what I've been hearing, I've been liking.
That's awesome, bro. I'm glad you like it because I actually I don't know. I just feel like I'm just trying to figure it out every day. Can I cuss?
Just take it day by day.
Yeah, like every single day just feels like I'm trying random things.
Huh. So you don't approach that with any kind of a plan, or?
I do have a plan for generally like the vibe of what I'm going for, but like when I'm like getting down into it, a lot of times I'm really just like, I don't know, it just kind of flows out of me in a sense.
With your last project, was there kind of like one cohesive vibe you were trying to hit, or was it more like let's throw all kinds of different stuff on this project?
Sheesh, that one was just like me trying to find my sound, honestly.
Yeah,
it's like
because it was a lot of music.
It was a lot of music and a lot of like different vibes on there that were just like, yeah, it was just all over the place. But I appreciate it for what it was. It was who I was at that moment in time.
Was there something particular that you found from making that project that you're like, I think this is the direction I want to go in, or was it kind of you're still trying to kind of find that balance in the sound?
Yeah, I was definitely still trying to find that balance of like who I was.
Yeah, I mean now though,
what I really wanted. Now,
like
I
post
feel
that
like,
project.
Oh yeah, now I feel like I'm in a direction. I'm moving in a direction that I'm really comfortable with. And I feel it just feels really natural, and it just feels like the most like me. So that's what I'm running with right now.
That's what's up, man. So you've been recording a lot lately?
Yeah, every day.
Good for you, man.
Every
That's awesome.
day.
So you're originally from LA, right?
Yeah, the LA area, Carson, California.
Okay. Is that part of the reason you wanted to be a musician and growing up around that culture?
I actually had a lot of different splashes of inspiration throughout my whole life, but what really got my interest in the music world is I have like my siblings, my older sibling, my older brother. He does DJing and producing, so I've always been able to like kind of get a taste of that world of like watching him doing what he does at shows, or whether it's I don't know any of the venues or things he's brought us to. It's always just cool to see that culture and see the inspiration that it brought. So I wanted to be a piece of the music industry and like inspire one day as well.
Were your parents into music?
Into listening to it, not making it though.
Yeah.
But they definitely put us on to some good music growing up. Like
what kind of stuff?
My mom, she really played a lot of Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu is definitely the household vibe if you ever at my house. And then she liked LL Cool J too. She liked a lot of people, Slick Rick and people like that. And my dad played like back in the day when I was like a kid. He played a lot of Usher and T.I. Like it was a mix of like R&B and then like the Trap King.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, so it was like we went varied through music, but my dad's always been really into like discovering new music and things like that too. So that's kind of, I guess he has an ear for it. I have a little bit of an ear for it seems. And my brother, we just all kind of like music a lot.
Past that, when you started growing up, when did you get to the point where like I think I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna start recording, I'm gonna like how was the progression? What was the first step?
Well, it really started. It just kind of happened. It was like a split moment, but leading up to that split moment when I decided I wanted to make music, I just was messing around with cameras and stuff like that, just like recording my friends, taking pictures of my friends, doing shoots for models and this and that, and it's like I was making money off of it at some point, and I was like, damn, like this creative world is super sick. Like you can make money just like making things from your own imagination. So then I ended up in the world where I was doing a lot of camera work around artists and things like that. What they did just looked super cool to me. I was like kind of getting tired of being just the camera guy. I was like, I want to make that shit like that. It looks fire.
Yeah.
And so then I ended up at this festival, Camp Flogna. Saw Rocky on stage from the pit, and it was over from there. I was like, oh, there's no way this one human can like shake an entire like arena and like 80,000 some people in the damn crowd or something up there like that, screaming and jumping, and like it's just so much inspiration there. Like so that's what really caught me. I was like, I'm gonna make music now.
How old were you when you went to that Camp Flogna show?
I think I was like 18.
And how old are you now?
I'm 22.
Okay, so you went from that show, and then you what? Was it instantaneous? You went home.
Literally
and
in that moment, I was like,
crazy,
"That's
man.
it. I'm doing it." Like I had already like been imagining it. I've been already like trying to write things and like trying to write little rhymes and freestyle with my homies and things like that. And I even tried to record a little bit. One of my homies, he had like a little weak ass setup, but it worked. You know, got a horrible song out for the first time, and saw like, okay, I guess that's how you do it. But finally, I feel like I could do this a little better somewhere else.
Yeah, and you were in school, and you were in school at that point, correct?
No, so I was. Oh, when I was writing it,
Yeah.
when I was like probably my senior year, I
Uh-huh.
literally only started writing music like my senior year.
Did you go to college after that?
No, hell no.
Mm-hmm. So what was the move after that?
The move after that, I literally like was just working. Like,
Yeah.
I was doing odd jobs, doing the photography thing for a while, and then I picked up a job working in Nevada in like Reno. It's at this place Tesla, and then
Never heard of it.
Tesla, yeah, it's this one random car company. But yeah, I was working there for like some time, like almost 2 years or something like that. But then I was working there to save money so I could build a studio. Then I built the studio and I left because of COVID.
So you built a complete studio or a home studio? It was
Home
like,
studio, just
okay.
like the speakers, the interface,
But the whole deal?
all that, yeah.
So that's
Got
where you record
I need
everything?
to record and make beats, yeah.
That's crazy. Does it feel more accessible, the fact that you're living like right there within
Literally,
the studio?
bro, I hop out of the bed every morning at like 6, 7 in the morning and just start making beats every single day. I'll start making beats or a beat I made the day before. I'll just start writing to it, depending on whatever I need to get done.
So after you saw Rocky and you got inspired and started creating, did you start with production or were you more writing?
No, I
and
definitely was just
rapping?
writing. I actually had the homie Ryan Cole. Shout out Ryan Cole. We had the homie
Shout out
Ryan
Ryan
Cole
Cole.
making all the beats. Like, he produced my whole first album, and which was fire. Like, his beats were fire. I would say my content, it was just me at that moment in time again. But yeah. Then I was writing, and then after a while, you know, like, I kind of got, I don't know. Some people may get tired of it. I got tired of it, but I was just like, man, I really don't like having to rely on like a producer and like pay people over and over for like beats over and over to write to. Like, I want to just be able to make a vibe real quick and like if I get out of bed like how I do now, be able to just get up and make a beat and write to it and record it all in one right away without waiting on anybody.
Were you paying for beats back then?
Yeah, I paid by session mainly, so
Uh-huh.
just like charge for a session and then like whatever beats we could make within that session is what I would work with.
I didn't know you could charge by session like that. So you just pay for the session, you sit down with the producer, and you guys...
Yeah, well, he was like more like the homie. It was his home
knew him?
stew. Yeah,
Okay.
so like I just paid for like to sit in for 3 hours or so, and then like we would go over a lot of times. But, you know, that was the vibe for the first album. Just
Yeah.
the homie in his home stew. Had some nice equipment, nothing like crazy, but it did the job.
Did you meet Shane before or after the first album?
I met him after I dropped that first album.
Okay, how'd that happen?
We were at a bar. I think one of us had a nice ass shirt on, and then one of us said "nice shirt" just passing by, and then I can't remember who said what. I don't want to like accidentally lie about it, but then we went to the bar and we started drinking and talking about music, and like I was like, yeah, do this, that, or whatever, and just linked up from there. And he came to my next show, like the very next show, which was like a week or two later.
Uh-huh.
He was like, all right, I'll be back out here from the Bay. I was like, what? You're gonna come back to Reno? So he pulled up, and I was like, oh, bet. Like, he's with it. He wants to do this for real. So started working together ever since.
That's crazy. It's such a genuine connection.
Literally.
Do you feel that you work better with people that you meet like that, just naturally, with genuine connections?
Yeah, I feel like anything like that works better. Anything forced is never good. It just has to be like organic shit.
I feel
just,
it.
like,
I feel that,
the
man.
most genuine, pure like energy. It's fire.
Especially if it's genuine like that, you know both parties have the other one's best interest at heart.
Right, exactly. So there's never any weird beginnings. It was just like we just met randomly and it worked. You know what I mean?
Have you ever met any of your features in a similar way, or most of those like all the guys on your other project, are they homies from where you're from, or?
Yeah, actually, there's a guy on the project, Jaylon. I actually grew up with him. It was like little kids with him. Like we were like 3 feet tall together, and he was on the project on this song called Summer, and then the other guy, he's actually on this new song coming out. I met him through my old producer. He was one of the artists on there. Or one of the artists that he worked with. But yeah.
So when you eventually kind of phased out of the photography thing and moved more towards music, was Rozeboyz a way to kind of connect the two? Or was that just kind of, how'd that come about?
The Rozeboyz thing, literally, I was just like, well, when I do this music thing, I feel like I want to have fun with all my homies. So like I want to make it like a group thing. Like not necessarily everybody in Rozeboyz makes music, but we definitely like we're just a group that we can go places together, do things together, and we just love. I mean, we're already like homies like that in the first place, but it's just tight that we could like have a name for ourselves and just kind of build that and like still be the same old people like forever.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean that's the best way to do it. It seems genuine. How many people are like in there creating?
Is in Rozeboyz
Yeah.
as far as music or just creating?
Just creative in general.
Creative in general. I mean, I feel like everybody's creative in their own way within the group. Whether it's
No. I mean like how many individuals?
How many individuals
Yeah.
are in there? Oh, damn, it's probably like 10 of us or something like that right now.
Mm-hmm. And you guys don't all do music. Some of like what are the other talents? You guys photography stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the homies do video and pictures and things like that. Some of the other homies do music, and then some of the homies are really just like they're more on the business end of things.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what the team. And then some of the homies skate. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
homies just skate with Rose, and so that's really that.
I mean that makes sense. There's I think about this a lot. It's like I feel like in like the new age of music and the internet age, collectives can almost take the place of labels if you have enough people, because it's like you think about it, right? Like what does a label give you? They give you distribution,
Literally.
photography, they usually A&R people, booking, etc. But if you have a gigantic collective of people doing all that for you, you can effectively replace a label.
Right. I mean, that's really, yeah, like you said, it's just like they're just your marketing team, essentially. Your marketing team, they put you in front of people, get you gigs and stuff. If you have the right people that you just linked with, not on the label shit, then you're good, because you can use all of what they would have given you just within your own circle, and y'all can do it even better to, the highest levels possible with no limits or advances holding you back for debt and all that stuff like that. So.
And it's more genuine.
More genuine. It's just like we all built this from the ground up together, and we all really want this to work. It's like a label. If they don't want you anymore, if they don't want one of their employees, they can replace them like that. But us, it's like I don't know. It's just building it from the ground, I think, is like the best way to go.
That's what I was gonna say, like, and building together too. Because the thing with a label is like generally a label comes in when you've already worked your ass off. Like, the thing is with what you're doing, you're building together and you're building up from scratch.
Right.
Excuse me.
There you go. Yeah.
That's sick, man. So after that, when you guys kind of got together originally, how far did you like? What was the vision for Rozeboyz? What's the end goal? I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
what's the end goal?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Like, are you guys trying to be more like a rap collective or just like an entertainment conglomerate in general?
Yeah, I definitely want to do I want to definitely, once I'm more established and I'm in a position where I can, maybe not necessarily have to make music all day, or be in the where I'm just doing better,
Mm-hmm.
and I could start up some companies with funds behind it. I definitely want to start up just a bunch of production companies and different, just literally A&R companies, things like that, like left and right, just and try to create my own department in the music industry itself, just make Rose an entire thing. I know it's hard to explain. It's a big plan I have written out.
No, I get it. Sometimes, no, I feel you, man. But sometimes when you have visions in your head, they don't always need to be explained to other people.
Yeah.
As long as you know what's going on.
Just definitely want to run some companies, some big projects.
I mean, that's the way I think about my stuff sometimes. Is I try to explain it to people, and they're like, what is it? I'm like, it's a music entertainment company. And they're like, what's that?
Yeah.
And you can only explain it so many times, and what it comes down to is sometimes you have to show people things,
Mm-hmm.
It's that's kind of what I found. Some people just won't get it unless it's right there in front of their faces.
Right.
And it's got to make stuff undeniable at that point.
Literally.
How long after you started Rose, you kind of met up with Shane? Did you meet Philly and all these other guys?
Literally just a month or two. Actually, after I met Shane, that was quite some months down the line, because I still was living in Reno. And then once I moved down here, which was the beginning of COVID, some months later, probably I think it was August or something, or September, Philly and them came down here, and Shane was down here by the summertime. And that's when we all really got acquainted. We're able to kick it on a daily basis, record, do whatever.
Seems like you kind of lost a lot from COVID because that was part of the reason you couldn't work that job anymore, right? And then you had to move back down here.
Yeah, it was like a bittersweet. I think it was like a blessing in disguise, honestly, because like I've met some really cool people that I probably wouldn't have met if I had been in Reno still. I've been in some places and just been able to do things. I had opportunities open up for me just from not being where I was and being where I'm at now.
Was it tough working that 9 to 5 kind of life? Like, did it give you more inspiration to pursue music?
Yeah, that whole work lifestyle definitely, like, every single day I hated it. I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna be here for the next 40 years doing anything like this, or just under any 9 to 5 restrictions. And people tell me when I can and can't go to the bathroom, like, that shit sucks. It's like, yeah, they pay you, but they pay you enough to, like, get to work again and stay alive until the next day.
They pay you enough to keep you in their pocket.
Yeah, literally.
And I mean, that's interesting too, because you've seen the other side of it.
Yeah.
Probably makes you want it more, right? Because it's like...
Yeah, definitely. I remember walking through, like, some days, I'll be honest, like, the jobs I've had, I've literally just, like, never been there mentally. I've always, like, been there, known the task, and just, like, put myself on autopilot, but, like, I'm just thinking of melodies or visuals or something, like, something creative, or thinking about what I'm going to do next when I get home, like, as far as my process and what I'm going to do as far as a project or whatever. But... yeah, I can never be focused. I can't stop thinking about this music thing.
You seem like a really visual person.
Yeah.
But like it seems like you like visualize things like long in advance.
I definitely do.
Do you believe in like manifestation and like
Absolutely.
just writing out everything you want to do?
Yes. I say everything I want to do, and I say I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna happen. So
I think you have to talk in future. Like you have to say like
always.
I'm going to do this. I'm
you have
going
to
to
speak
be there.
it's already happened.
Yeah.
It's literally it. Like it's there. It's just waiting for you to get to that point in time. But it already happened.
That's real. It's like if you don't believe in it, why would other people?
What's up?
I'm saying like if you don't believe in it, why would other people? You have to be your own biggest
Literally,
push.
that's like the biggest thing. Like if I could tell anybody anything about whatever they're trying to do, the only person that can stop you is you, because you literally just have to believe in yourself. Everybody can hate what you do or not like it or not believe in it, and as long as you believe in it, it's gonna work at some point with consistency.
I was talking to Shane and everybody about this very thing earlier, and something I said that I kind of started. I was thinking about it a lot. It's like the day that you stop could be the day before you succeed.
Literally. You
could stop tomorrow, and 2 days from now could be the day that everything pops and you get all these opportunities, and all of a sudden you're finally doing what you want to do. But if you just stopped that day before, none of those opportunities could have arisen.
Literally, you just never know how close you are.
Yeah, 100%. So what was it like recording your project? When front to back, like how long did that project take to record, and where'd you record it?
Project Z?
Yeah.
That one, shoot, how long did it take? It was probably like, I want to say probably 4 or 5 months or something like that. But it was because I worked that heavy schedule at my last job. It was 12-hour shifts, and
Jesus Christ.
it was through the night, so I would sleep during the day, so it was hard to catch a day where my producer was able to be up, or I was able to be up. I would have to go straight from a 12-hour shift, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. into the studio for another 4, 5, 6 hours, and then go home and do what I gotta do before I go to sleep. Wake up 2 hours later and go to work.
That's wild. So you're basically nocturnal.
Yeah, it's weird. It really that whole sleep schedule working there just really it's had a bad effect over time. Nothing that's I don't know, detrimental or anything like that. It's just definitely as far as my current sleep schedule, it just gets thrown off out of nowhere sometimes. It's weird.
I have a theory that's why you see so many people in the Midwest, and people just who work in factory jobs and jobs like that. Just the mental health just declines. Yeah. It's not. I feel like it's a very demoralizing thing to do. Mm-hmm. So, not that I'm anyone to give you life advice, but it feels like to me that you're probably much happier being a creative.
Absolutely. This is my dream to be here, to do everything that I'm doing. And, I have to realize that some days when I have bad days, I have to, look up and just, go, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. I dreamt of this. I wanted this. I wanted to be able to wake up and just make music for a living. And not saying I do that for a living quite yet. I'm still working on that. But I make money just doing creative things in general. So, I do a lot of freelance work with my camera. I'll be on sets with my sister. She's a photographer. and so I'll do like PA work and things like that, just odd jobs, and it like keeps everything afloat while I make music. I'm just hustling and doing what I gotta do for it.
What kind of places are you shooting at? Like, are you shooting like weddings or what? Like,
no, like I was shooting some brands. I was on sets with Nike and like
cool.
Jordan and things like that, for just a couple of their campaigns that they're doing, and it's just like literally my sister hires me for work. She's like the most fire photographer too, Cloud9. But yeah, that's what I do. That's how I'm able to make music and float.
did you have any say? Well, obviously it's saying it, but I'm saying was the album cover for Project Z, was that orchestrated by you, that photo? Because it seems like I don't know. To me, it seems very photogenic. Or was it just kind of like a random thing?
No, it definitely was like meant for that project. The concept came from just me thinking like what I knew the album kind of gave me like trippy like vibes, and that's why I kind of like just had that weird illusion of me being like copy pasted in a sense all the way throughout the car through the back of the image. But that's just literally just what it gave me, was trippy vibes, and so I made it look trippy.
Yeah, one of my favorite tracks on the project, funny enough, was the interlude, and that
I
every time I heard that, I just laughed. 'Cause it seemed like such a genuine, like real conversation. Like it seemed like it was just a random conversation recorded.
No, we definitely were having a random conversation, but like,
how'd that get recorded? It was just.
So I told everybody, I was like, all right, everybody come to the mic. Right, we were in the studio and all the homies were there. I was like, all right, come to the mic, and mind you, when you're recording, it's only playing through the headphones, so it's not like we can hear it and actually like feel this vibe. So we're like kind of like turning up and talking to this like nothingness of like a little headphone speaker that we're listening to, and trying to keep it away from the mic, and we're just like talking, actually just having conversation and making each other laugh, telling jokes, so it sounded real. We were being real. Like, we almost forgot we were recording for a minute. Ryan was recording that for like probably 10 minutes. We were just going off and being stupid. And then he found that piece and thought that was the best one to throw in there.
That was pretty funny. I literally, because every time I was just so convinced. I'm like, this got to be a real conversation. It sounded so real. Is that how you like to be in the studio with like lots of people around?
Yeah. Well, no. As far as being in the studio, it's not that I don't like a lot of people around, but like I don't mind. I mean, I just record by myself every day in my room, so like I don't necessarily need people around when I'm recording. It's not like a vibe switch or anything for me. It's actually more fun when people are around. It's like. But I feel like I get a little bit more distracted because I be talking to everybody all the time. Like, that was my problem in high school, just talking all the time. But, so the less people, the less distracted I'll be.
Yeah. That makes sense. The last song on the project was another one I wanted to talk about, the Rose song. Because to me, that seemed like by far one of the more personal tracks on the project. It seemed like on the back half of that, when that beat switch kind of comes in and you're rapping about like your future plans and stuff, that seemed like really like a personal track. Was that kind of tough to record and put that on paper?
No, it wasn't hard to record just because like I've always wanted to like speak my mind through my music, and I just like this is like my favorite way to speak my mind. Because in real life, I'm not the one to like necessarily. I don't really go over my emotions out loud with a lot of people. It's just, I always just kind of have this idea that it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't to me, like, honestly. Like, I feel like if I'm having a bad day, somebody will be, a nice person to empathize with me, but the only thing that'll make my day better is me. Like, same if everybody's trying to help you have a better day, and you're the only one keeping yourself down, it's only because of you that you're staying down. So, I just, suck it up. What was the question?
I was just asking if that was tough to record, because I mean, I'd
that's
say
where
like
I was going with that.
Yeah, over every track on the project, that one seemed like, to me anyway, it kind of hit me as well. Like, it was very relatable. Like, cause that's something I felt too. Like in the back half when you're talking about like having a house in Pomona and like all these future plans you have, and it was just kind of like that anxiety for the future. Cause that's something I feel a lot too. It's like it's hard to think about what tomorrow is gonna be without knowing.
Yeah, literally. That's exactly. What I was going for was just telling my truth. So anybody else, I know there's almost 8 billion people here. Somebody else gonna feel the shit. So
is music cathartic for you in that sense? Like, do you ever find yourself just writing down things that you can't figure out ways to say?
I'm like, I don't know. It's never that I can't figure out a way to say things. I just choose not to say them to people. So I'm like, well, I have a cooler way of expressing this and telling people, what I mean. And what's up, buddy?
thing I want to ask you about. I'm kind of glad you're wearing the hat. It's funny that I bring that up, but it's like I could never find a picture of you without a baseball hat. Is that kind of? Do you just wear baseball hats, or is there anything?
I wear hats all the time, but like I've like recently started taking a bunch of like pictures and like doing some videos with my hat off. Like my music video, I don't really have my hat on much, but yeah, literally, I just always liked having a hat on.
Are you into streetwear or fashion at all? Because that's another thing I saw just looking at your Instagram and stuff. It's like you seem like you got some pretty fire outfits, man. Like doper shit than I wear.
I appreciate that. I'm not like what you would consider like a huge fashion head. Like I'm not necessarily like in that whole realm of things, but I do like to pay attention to what I wear. And I do see things that I think are cool, and I like find a way to make them look cooler on me, or like just look right on me. And so that's really what I'm into. I do design a lot of the stuff though that we make as far as clothes and shit like that.
So like all the Rozeboyz stuff.
Yeah.
Cause you guys dropped all kinds. You had like hats, you had like shirts, and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, bunch of random shit. It's pretty fire. It's all over the website. I don't know how many things are on there now, but it's a bunch of shit people can go look through. It's just a bunch of vibey-ass looking clothes. Things you would wear on a casual day, but like when you're not trying to be super casual, but you look a little flyer than everybody else, you wear like Rose merch and shit.
Yeah, because I mean, I was looking over and it to me, it didn't even like seem like merch.
RozeboyzENT.com.
Shout out.
Straight up.
But like, just looking through it and stuff, it didn't feel like merch to me. Like it felt like streetwear. Like it felt like it wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like when you're wearing merch, there's kind of like this preconceived notion, like, oh, I'm supporting somebody. But to me, it's like I could not even know who Rozeboyz was, and it's just a dope shirt or a dope hat, and it's like I wear that.
I fuck with that. I appreciate that. Yeah. I just tried to make them look like simple enough to where it wasn't look like I was doing too much, but like at the same time, just putting just the name of what we are and who we are, and just familiarize people's eyes with that. Because this shit's going to be big as fuck one day.
Is there a message you're trying to spread with Rozeboyz more so than you are your music? Like, is there, like, one consolidated message you want to spread?
One message. That's a good question. There's a lot of messages, I feel like. I don't want to just spread, like, one message. I have a whole lot of, like, things I want to share with people. But one of, like, the big things is, you know, somebody inspired me to do this, but to like do what I do as far as creativity and things like that. And I want to inspire a lot of other people to do the same thing. There's a lot of people that lived in my situations or have done what I've done or been in the positions I've been in who feel like maybe, you know, things just aren't going their way and life is shit or whatever. And I want to be that person that like did all the same stupid shit that a bunch of other people did. You know what I'm saying? Just like messed up a bunch of things at one point in time and still bounced back and is chilling and like living life like nothing ever happened. Like I want to be that inspiration for people. Oh shit. Well, I want to be that inspiration for people for sure though. Just let niggas know they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Did you have people like that you looked up to and you were like, damn, if he did it, I could do it too?
Yeah. My biggest inspiration as far as like somebody in the industry, do you mean?
Anywhere, yeah.
Or anywhere. I mean, I have a lot of great people in my family. Like I have a lot of good mentors and people I look up to within my own family, which is plenty for me, really. Like my parents, great role models. Like they've taught me all the greatest morals and values in the world. And grandparents, all the wisdom that they carry, it's insane. And I captured all of it through all the stories forever. And so, I mean, where was I going with this again? Sorry, I've been high lately.
The fact that they inspire you.
Oh, yeah, why they inspire me. Yeah, that's where the inspiration comes from, is just all the stories and things that they've told me, the things that they've been through. The fact that, you know, my grandparents lived in times where this country didn't really like people that looked like me too much and got through that and did what they had to do to make sure they raised my parents the right way, or my dad, and then my mom, and then that they were able to survive, do what they had to do, and get into a position where they could teach us how to do it the right way. And it's like a slap in the face if I don't do anything with my life.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's my inspiration, is knowing that people that came before me did a lot to get me to live the life that I live right now.
Does that ever put some pressure on you? Do you ever feel like you have to live up to something?
I don't feel pressure. I never feel pressure because it's not like my parents never really like were parents of, oh, you have to do this, you need to be in this position or doing this by this time in your life. Like, they've just always, we all just like know things are gonna work out, things are gonna be okay. Like, we're good, we're smart, we're gonna figure it out regardless of how bad things get or whatever. So like, it's never been pressure to be like amazing at anything. I kind of put that on, if there's pressure, it's me putting it on myself.
You're hardening yourself?
Intentionally. It's just like the psychological thing I play with myself. Like, I tell myself I'm not winning when I'm like low-key winning, but it just makes me want to win more. And so, because I don't know, I don't want to get complacent ever. I never want to feel comfortable like I did it and I'm done and I'm good. Like, I don't want to feel like that. Every time I get a win, like, I want to already be imagining the next one and figuring out how I'm gonna get that. You know,
so that's when you get comfortable and you stop working.
Yeah, I don't want to get comfortable.
You always want to be hungry. I mean, like, even I hear a lot of people talk about the fact that even after they've made it, they want to act like they haven't yet.
Yeah, literally, because the hunger that we have right now, you know, if we make it and lose this hunger that we have, what got us there was the hunger we originally had. So if we lost that, then we're probably gonna lose what the fuck we have at that point in time.
Yeah, you never get you comfortable. I was looking at your Instagram too, and one other thing I saw is did you shoot a show for I Am Sue? Is that where you were?
Yeah, I actually did that some random years ago. My sister again, my older sister.
That's crazy.
She be plugging me with like hella shit, and so, yeah, she just hit me and was like, "Yo, YG, I Am Sue, Famous Dex performing at UC Irvine." It was like some years ago. I can't remember what year, but I guess Famous Dex came out. And then, or I Am Sue came out, then Famous Dex came out, and then he shut the whole thing down. But I was filming I Am Sue, and so that was pretty lit.
Why did you shut it down?
Well, Dex started going too crazy and telling the crowd to do things that just got him too rowdy.
Yeah, Dex is wilding for a little bit. He's I'm glad he's healthy again though.
Yeah,
safe.
He's doing his thing. He's vibing out, living his life, living his best life.
Dex is dope, man. One thing I love about Dex, I feel like through and through, he's like authentically himself, and like nobody.
He's definitely being him. Yeah, I don't see any fraudulent in him.
Yeah,
he seems like he's just doing him.
It's like eccentric and weird. He's hilarious.
Yeah, facts.
Are you into live music a lot?
Am I into live music as far as performing or like watching it?
Both.
Watching it, absolutely. I love watching live shows. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I could sit there all day and just like smoke and watch shows, like new artists that I don't even know. Especially when they're using a bunch of live instruments. That's the coolest thing to me. It's just like hearing the drums and the bass and everything. It's fire. But performing, when I do that, it's just not super, super common right now. But I've done quite a few shows now. It's the funnest shit in the world to me. Like, I feel so at home on stage, just like entertaining people. It's just lit. It's fun. Like, seeing people smile because of things you're doing. You can move or dance or whatever you want in whatever way. And like, people just eat it up, and like, they're just trying to have a good time. So like, if you're not boring, everybody's gonna have a good time.
Were you performing at all before COVID?
Yeah, that's the last time I performed was actually before COVID.
Was that tough dealing with that? No more live shows?
Dude, just because when I was just starting up, like kind of doing my shows and just trying to like figure it out, man. I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, we're getting shows at least once or twice a month. We're just like literally just kicking things off. And then boom, COVID. And they're like, all venues are shut down. We're like, but we did like one of the last shows in the city. I was in Reno. Did one of the last shows out there before COVID. Like, it was it. I opened for Shorty. Oh no way! That's what's up, bro. Yeah, it was hella cool. It was a cool environment. The crowd was pretty tight.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I feel like I know I've heard from a lot of artists that literally started doing stuff right before COVID, and then that whole thing got ripped away from them. And it's like, especially from a financial standpoint, touring and performing is such a gigantic part of making it as a small artist. It's like, if you get that's taken away from you, I imagine that makes things way harder, way more complicated.
Literally. And like, I feel like I hit it in a safe space. It really benefited me, to be honest, the whole pandemic, because like I said, I didn't know how to like produce, and I was still like in the midst of like finding out exactly what I wanted and who I wanted to be in this industry, and what my purpose even was. I was like, why do I even like want to do this? I had to sit down and really think about like what were my whys. But then once I did that, then shit, lead me back to the question. I smoke too much.
You're chilling. No, I was saying like during COVID, like just not playing shows. Did that kind of affect your ability to live out here at all? Like, was that tough?
Yeah. Not doing shows sucked because like I was starting to build like a little bit of momentum, and that momentum just like felt like it just kind of like crashed. And I was like, like I was building like this live momentum. Like I was performing like quite a few times in Reno, and so like then people were starting to like. I would see some of the same people at the shows twice that I didn't ever meet.
That's
but
probably
they just
a dope
like,
feeling.
you know what I'm saying? And like the shows were getting hype. Like some people were like sticking their hands out and shit. And I was like, wow, that was the first time for that. I've never seen people like really like act like this because I'm on the stage. What? So that was really cool to go through and see and experience. And that's why I was so upset about COVID, because it shit just like fucked it all up.
But you pretty much just locked yourself in your room and learned how to learn production through that whole process?
Learned like everything I could possibly learn in that little time gap. I just really was watching a bunch of music videos, looking at visuals, seeing people's different creativity, seeing like who has the most modernized techniques and like innovative techniques and what makes music so cool. And I was literally studying all, like, I read this book on fucking like just the whole music industry and just basically how like labels work, like all the technicalities and things like that, just to see what that was about. Not really about that, but yeah, I learned how to produce in like January 2021, so this year. And then like I just been learning, still learning right now. It's June.
That label thing's crazy. I feel like so many people, the only way they can learn that is they have to get screwed over at one point. It's like I feel like nobody, or at least a lot of people I've heard from, a lot of artists don't have any experience with labels until it's their first experience, and that generally is a bad one. So I feel like that's crazy that you kind of got that in originally, and you're like, oh, I'm going to learn about this before I get fucked over.
No, yeah, definitely. I've always had people around me, like I said, that just kind of was able to give me insight about, you know, the industry and just kind of how the ins and outs work. You kind of see it, you hear stories, a bunch of other artists talk about it. You look into it. I read a couple books on it, and so I really figured out like what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I mean, it's just business, but it's up to you if you want to be a part of it or not.
Yeah, the new track "Curls." Is that more of a direction you want to go in with that song? Because the lyric that was a bit more of like a love song. Like, is that kind of area you want to go into?
I mean, the vibe of that, I feel like I've definitely progressed past that. Even in that time frame, from me dropping in December to June 2021, right after, I feel like I progressed a lot because, like I said, these past 6 months, I was just locked in my room for like 12 hours a day, just sitting there making nonstop beats on beats on beats. Just like I tried to make as many as I could in a day, like over and over, like ever since January. And I kind of slowed down on making beats because I was like, damn, I got a lot of beats now, and I like a lot of them too. That's what's gonna be on this tape. So I just wanted to record, and now I'm just doing a bunch of recording and finishing up these tapes, and it's sounding pretty fire.
You said the tape's coming June, right? Because you're saying new music in June.
The single is dropping June 11th.
Okay.
June 11th is the single. That one's Baby Blue. That one is featuring Sky. He's an artist. He used to be a part of this collective, or this group, named RDS in Reno, Nevada. And but me and him, you know, hopped on a collab because we kind of met each other when I was making music out there, and we just clicked up because we're homies and made some cool shit. Gonna do a video to it too.
With your visuals and your videos, are you working with the same kinds of people or those? Or I know you're really into, since you're into photography, I would imagine. How's that process kind of work? Like, are you signing off on the visuals in terms of cinematography and stuff, or?
I'm not doing any of the like physical work as far as filming and things like that, but I'm definitely me and Isaac both. Sky is his artist name, excuse me. Cut it. But me and him both, we're just both kind of like collaborating on this direction of the video and just like bouncing ideas off each other. So we're both kind of building this up at the same time, just trying to make the coolest visuals. You know, just, you know, we're getting everything that we need. Literally, like I said, use your imagination. Let's just come up with the wildest things, or like the coolest things, or even the simplest things. Whatever looks fire, and we're gonna make it come to life. Like, it doesn't matter. So we got the gear. We gotta knock it out on Wednesday.
I feel it, man. What excites you most for the future of Rozeboyz and like your own music?
What excites me most is doing like my first tour. That sounds fun. I've never done that. I've always wanted to go on a tour, especially a tour based around, you know, my music and me being the performer on tour. That just has always seemed like a fun thing to do, something to check off on my list of fun things I want to do.
That road life, hell yeah.
road life, but then that in the future of just like how big the team can get and like how like I don't know, just how many people we can get on board with this to work with us. Sorry, I don't think I was in the mic too much.
Are you guys like actively going out and trying to find new talent for Rozeboyz, or just kind of like a come as they come thing?
It's more of like a come as they come for show.
Yeah.
Sometimes like if we need somebody to do something, whether it's media or something like that, random, if somebody's not available, then we'll look for somebody. Or as far as recruiting, we don't have any like specific process of that. We just, if somebody's like down for the cause and they just want to like, you know what I'm saying, be a part of something like this, then they can be a part of it. And if they decide they don't want to be a part of it, they can also do that too. It's just like, we're just here trying to build something. I'm going to keep going for it regardless. And I know I think everybody that's on the team right now is going to keep punching at this. So we got a strong team, you know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, man, I'm pumped to see it. You want to talk? You want to shout out your new EP dropping, everything that's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, right now I'm only gonna announce the June 11th drop, Baby Blue, featuring Sky. Got a video coming with that one right behind it, so be on the lookout for that too after the drop. It'll be on all platforms. Pre-save link is gonna be on my Instagram. That's Grand Zavy. So GrandZavy.
Hell yeah, man! I'm excited for you. Appreciate you doing this, bro.
Man, likewise,
Good
man.
talking to you.
I'm glad I could be here. This is like fun.
I
I like
appreciate
answering
you.
questions.
All right, music matters.
All right.